2022 City Council meeting for the City of Lamar. I'm Mayor Kirk Crespin. Of course, it's a busy time of year. We have so many things going on, and this is the last meeting was planned to be the last meeting of the year for the council. Of course, we're going to have a special session in next week, but we are trying to get a lot packed in tonight, so we apologize for the rush, but we will go in through, and we apologize for being a little bit late. We had a work session that held over a little longer than expected. If you haven't had a chance to get out and look around the town, we have so many things happening. A lot of houses that are decorated, they look great. Our Enchanted Forest is decorated. There's activities there. There's activities downtown. Great shopping in our downtown area. So if you get an opportunity, take some time to go look downtown and see what's happening in Lamar. Aside from that, we will get started with our meeting. We will start off with an invocation. We have Galen who will do our invocation tonight. Galen?
Let's pray. Father, we want to thank you and praise you for the privilege of being able to openly meet and do our business, that we don't have a dictator or anything like that. Thank you, Father, for blessing us with that. Father, we thank you that you're bringing in some weather. We ask that you will include a little bit of snow or moisture. We need some moisture, Father, so we ask for that. We ask for your wisdom now to come upon our city councilmen as they talk about the different concerns, the different projects, the different things that they have to do. Give them insight, give them wisdom, so they can make the best decision for our city. Father, we thank you for our council people. We thank you for the administration we have here in our city. We thank you for the workers who keep our city moving. Father, we ask your blessing and protection upon them as we finish out this year and as we start in a new year. Father, may you be glorified through all that. And Father, we pray that you will just be reminding us to keep Christ as the reason for the season as we celebrate your great gift to us this Christmas time. We thank you and we praise you, and we do this in the name of our Savior, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. All right. Mike Bellamy, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the time is now 7:08 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Joe Gonzalez.
Here.
Mike Bellamy.
Here.
Jerry Jenkins. Here. Kirk Crespin.
Here.
Mike Duffy.
Here.
Manuel Temez.
Here.
Anne Marie Crampton. Here. Rob Evans.
Present.
Kristen Swartz. Here. Lance Clark.
Here. All right, we do need to make a modification to the agenda. We need to add number 7 onto our agenda under new business. So actually it would be under, towards the end. We'll move miscellaneous to number 8, and we need to add in a number 7. We do have a request to apply for the Great Outdoors Recreation Grant. So we'll need to have a little discussion about that, if that is okay with the city or the council.
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to amend the agenda by adding in the consideration of the Great Outdoors Recreation Grant. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mike and Jerry.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay. Moving on, our next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. We've all had an opportunity to look at the consent agenda. Were there any items that needed to be modified or removed or voted on separately?
I didn't see any. I make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, the next item is our public comment. During this portion of the meeting, anyone may speak on any subject that does not appear on the agenda. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each, and that is at the discretion of the council. Is there anybody who would like to speak to the council on a topic that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we will move on. As always, as you're watching tonight, if you're online watching the session, you're welcome to ask questions or submit them by messenger. And during the miscellaneous items portion of the meeting at the end, we will cover your questions if we can. So we'll move on to the next item, which is the city treasurer's report.
I did have one thing tonight, thank you, Mayor and Council. I did get an email today from the state of Colorado on the 3 grants that have been outstanding for the sidewalks. They did tell me today that I could, about 99% sure that I would see contracts come finally mid-January on those 3 grants. So keep your fingers crossed. We do have a person now that reaches out, periodically to me. I do get a response. I have a phone number. So, but she did mention today that I should see contracts to bring in front of you for those grants that have been outstanding. So I thought that was good news today. So I wanted to share that with council.
Thank you. Okay,
And that was all I had, unless you have questions for me.
anybody?
I have none.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seeing none, we will move on to the city clerk's report.
The October sales and use tax collected in November was $399,424.38, which was up 11.34%, or $40,685.08 from 2021. Our year-to-date collections are $4,529,314.21, which is up 3.92%, or $170,980.13 from 2021. That's all I have.
Not a huge growth, but a little bit of growth. That's good. Any questions for our city clerk before we move on? Seeing none, we'll move on to the city administrator.
All right. First of all, I'd like to say a couple of thank yous and shout outs to people for some events that have gone on already. And I wanted to say to the supporters of the Polar Express free matinee the other day, that was a fun time. And Community State Bank, I think, was the supporter of that. I wanted to say that was a real neat experience for me, first time coming into town and seeing that happen. It was pretty neat. So thank you very much. And let's see. I wanted to talk about or add something to my list here, and it was the Wreaths Across America. And I think that's this Saturday. And Mike, is it this Saturday?
Saturday the 17th at 10 a.m. out at Fairmont Cemetery.
10 a.m., right?
10 a.m.
So, okay. I'll talk to Martha, make sure that we get that out there again. But that's something that, it's a really important ceremony, and I'd really like to see what we could do as far as getting maximum participation for that one. So, thank you very much. Our annual holiday basketball tournament, December 15th to 17th. If Rick will tell you, that was one of my first experiences with this city here last year, and it was crazy. Lots of people, and everybody gets excited about that one. That's an important one to go to. Winter begins December 21st. That's cold. All right. City offices are closed for Friday, December 23rd, and Monday, December 26th. So won't have doors open at that time. We have city offices will also be closed on January 2nd, since we don't have another meeting. Just to let you know, we're going to be closed on January 2nd. On projects update, I have some good news about one that's going to be coming. The pedestrian bridge is supposed to be in here next week, and you might, well, at least by next, it's
on the ground.
yeah, but I mean, finished and completed and everything, right? I mean,
Yes,
don't we have to still get it inspected?
probably.
I think so. Anyway, I think we'll be able to use it and everything by next week. So
Okay.
it's great.
It'll be ready for the
Yeah.
next semester for the college.
That's
kids to
right.
walk
College
it
kids will
down.
be able to use it.
Good.
And let's see, miscellaneous. Did you have any questions for any of the projects ongoing? I think we're, Pat, did we get, we're pretty close on the Washington Street projects, right? Very
So
close.
We'll be ready
get
for the spring rain.
2 drain boxes. I know that makes Kristen happy too, so good job, Pat. You guys been working hard in the weather and everything else. I want to say thank you guys too, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Any other projects?
Can't think of anything offhand, you guys?
Come on, I know you want to say something, Jerry.
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyway, thank you. It's a great time of the year, and it is, it's impressive. I know I have a lot of family from outside of town, said they like seeing our little hometown and seeing all the lights and everything up, and people walking up and down the street, so thank you very much.
Okay, any final questions for the city administrator before we move on? Seeing none, the next item on the agenda is any reports and correspondence for the council. Any council reports, liaison reports,
I have none.
comments, questions? Okay,
I have none.
I do not.
anybody? Yep.
The only thing I was going to mention is that if you haven't seen the video that Prowers Economic Prosperity did in conjunction with OEdit, it's really a great video, and it gives a realistic view of Prowers County. Just a really fun, I'm glad I'm here kind of video. So I hope it'll encourage other people who want to be here to invest in our county.
Great. Should be a great sales tool for this community and all of the counties, so that'll be great. Mike, did you have anything? Any reports?
No, sir.
Carrie?
No, thank you.
Parade of Lights was a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parade of Lights was good. It was a great event.
Yeah. Wind canceled just at the right time. It did get a little cold at the end, but that was really neat to see everybody.
Hey, Kurt, I'd like to mention I'm a member at the Spreading Antlers Golf Course out there.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Turner just retired here recently, and they welcomed in a new individual out there to open the golf course, keep it open and charge it on the bar. His name is Bob Haney, I believe.
Bob Haney.
So it's changed hands.
Okay.
He used to be here before, right, Joe?
Yes, he was here
He was
before,
here before.
and so this is the second time here in Lamar.
Okay. Great. One last question on the projects. I know we've been working all year long trying to get the self-serve fuel at the airport.
Oh,
Do we have any update on that?
All the equipment has made it on the, just basically right Porta pad, last week, set the container structure on the tank. So that was gonna be, kind of looking at the details on whether we're gonna be 50 foot from the tank itself or 65, but they want to check the pump manufacturer, make sure that's what we're still.
Okay.
so it's
I
no
don't know
longer.
if anybody else could hear that, but they're waiting, as far as online, but they're waiting for the equipment to come in from Denver. You've already been working on the location of the tanks in comparison to the pump. Just kind of recapping, did I miss anything? Okay, so we're hoping within the next month, you think? Okay, all right. Well, I just wanted to make sure people heard that, so, okay. All right, well, we have a lot of projects that are in the works, a lot of projects that are in planning, and hopefully 2023 is going to be a big year as far as having things move forward. We have some major investments being made in the community, whether it's from the new LV Petroleum at Pilot or, different projects we've been working on, like the RBs and our main cafe and other things. So we're looking for a pretty big year next year, and I hope to see a lot of that come to fruition. All right, we will move on to the next item, which is new business. First off, we need to have a public hearing for the transfer of ownership fermented malt beverage liquor license from G. Azula to Lamar LLC, and Lamar LLC to LVPCO LLC, DBA TA Express Lamar. So we will need to move into that first.
So move.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to move into the public hearing. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, the time is now 7:20 PM, so we will start with the public hearing. First off, we'll start with our city clerk to let us know about the proof of publication and any opening remarks.
Okay, so the new corporation, LVPCO, they submitted their documentation along with fees on November 7th. We scheduled the public hearing at the November 28th meeting for tonight. It was posted on site on December 1st as well as in the local newspaper on December 1st.
Okay.
turned it over to our police department. They did their background, so
Do you have a mic there, Martha? Or Kyle?
We did do an investigation into the company and the individuals listed on there as the managers, and I would recommend it be approved.
Okay. So we have the opening remarks from the city clerk and the police chief. Next up, we'll look at any city council comments or questions. Council, do you have any questions, comments you want to start off with?
I don't have any.
I don't have any either.
None.
Okay.
None concerning this license.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay.
Are your employees going to be tip certified for training
Certified far as just
for the selling of the liquor?
yes, they will. You know, we, with Council for America, we have a training course that everyone our employees, including our managers, including myself, everyone has to go through every year to be certified with Council for America. That's through all of our locations.
Okay. When they do get certified, is there a way you can send copies to Linda so we know who is certified
Yes,
through the training?
We can literally track our data.
Okay. That'll work.
Especially through our corporation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And we kind of got off a little bit there. 'Cause usually we'll open it up to the floor and allow anybody that's in favor of to come up and speak. So at this time, that's what we'll do now is we'll invite you to come up and speak for those that are in favor of it. So if you just wouldn't mind letting us know your name and who you're with for the record.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Serena Choi, and I represent the LVPCO LLC, forgive me, in Nevada. They are called Las Vegas Petroleum, so we just refer to them as LVP. I represent with all their licensing, so we travel around to make sure that they're licensed in all jurisdictions, that they abide by all regulations, and they're community members. So it's very important for us to give back to the community. So just to give you an insight, they do operate many locations. When you think of Las Vegas Petroleum, I just went from Nevada into Denver, so your airport's wonderful, Tesla's awesome. We need some power chargers, thank you very much, Tesla's amazing, thank you, Mayor. And so, forgive me, we just flew in, however, they do operate 3 service stations. They're generally convenience store owners, you might have seen them, we do carry East Coast brands like Gulf, Conoco, and Sunoco, a couple other brands as well. They also want to become partners with the community, so we did join the Chamber of Commerce, thank you, from our Chamber of Commerce. Tally is amazing. She's here, and all the other ladies that helped us. Gloria will remain on site. The crew stay, your team remains, nothing changes, so understand that there's not a lot of shift. We want to keep things intact, we want to make sure that we preserve what is here and preserve the community and the culture. God, say anything, please.
So, next question, I'm the Vice President of Operations for LV Petroleum. We're based out of Las Vegas. We've got 10-11 locations in Las Vegas with convenience stores. We also have this Lamar being our second Council of America that we'll be converting over, and we're opening another one tomorrow in Garden City tomorrow morning. So once I leave for the night, I'll be on the road tomorrow morning for another one. And then we're also looking to build one in Pueblo also too. So we're really wanting to grow the business. But the biggest thing is I want to be part of the community. So I met with Tally today, I met with Cheryl. I am also just now part of the Charles Economic Prosperity, and I am an investor part of that group. So I will be part of all the meetings going on, anything to support the community. I just met with the sheriffs about probably 2 hours ago. As a company, we support the sheriffs, community, the police department, just as we do in Las Vegas. The new mayor, is going to be the new mayor the new governor rather, in Las Vegas. So we're a big supporter of the police department for sure. We're doing that's protect our community. So we make sure nothing is taken for granted. Gloria, my favorite over there. We communicate daily on what she needs. My biggest thing was to come in with the team here and ensure that nobody felt their jobs were threatened. So what we did, we gave every single employee an increase, and our management all get significant increases also too. And that will continue next year. And of course, the biggest thing everybody wants to know is KFC coming. KFC is coming, coming fast. So I have my vice president of food. We're working on that one quickly. So we're looking at about the next 3 to 4 months to really get that whole brain together. Plus Charlie Police cheesesteak and Dunkin' Donuts is thing. It's not going anywhere. I know I had that question today. We're also, my boss talked to you, they're flying in tonight. We're gonna also look at some more ventures down here. So I've asked Cheryl to look at a few different prospects for me down here, to put some more quick service restaurants and full service restaurants. I also deal with Blackbeard Diner, I'll also deal with a few other places. So we just got a few things we want to look at to make sure we're part of the community, not just here to say, okay, we're here for the money. We're here to really ensure that we were part of the community. And I'm sure Charlie that I will be attending a lot of events. I will be down here for the meetings. I fly. If there's 31 days in a month, I'm on a plane or a hotel room probably 21 days though. So, yes.
A lot of travel.
A lot of trouble. But the biggest thing that I'm committed to is the team here in Lamar.
And they're amazing, but I do have one question.
Yes.
So there's a building across the street
Yes.
from the current truck stop. I
Yes.
believe it's an old Burger King.
Yes.
And it's a non-compete, correct? Would they be willing, if the council suggested they either sell or that they move forward with some project? I do have a project I'd like to bring to town, which would be an Anytime Fitness, in case someone wants to get healthy and work out. Within that facility, I'd like to put in some fast food, so easy for this group across the street to manage both corners, if you will, to
Right.
make sure they have good quality food, because they're already licensees. Can we then bring across the street, and it's not gonna be a Burger King or a fast food, it's gonna be a food court. I'd like to put a gym and then put the food court in between somehow, so that way people can get healthy, indoors, outdoors, and also have some food to eat. I didn't realize that you didn't have KFC and all these things that we take for granted in the city, so if there are opportunities to be able to bring those franchise opportunities to Lamar, then is that a possibility? Can we get the city support to move that?
I've actually been in contact, just got emails today from Burger King Corporation, their asset management team. We have a couple of people that are interested in that property, and we've been working on a couple of things. I have been in contact with Cheryl Sanchez at PEP. She's also wanting to get that information for somebody that she has that's interested. So we are working on getting that door opened, and the conversations have been positive, so as soon as we have some more information, we'll make sure we get it to you.
Well, Mayor, I believe in a lot of things, but I believe in diversity.
Yes.
It's an opportunity, and I believe that you need a lot of diversity, so we're going to help with that.
Okay.
Please reach out.
That's appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions before they leave from the council?
I have none.
I have none.
Mike? No. Nope. Anybody? Manuel? No. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So the next item on that we usually do is we'll open the floor up to anybody who is against or oppose the change over the licensing.
I'm Galen Burnett, 800 South 6th Street, Lamar, Colorado. I was glad to hear all the positive things, but unfortunately, in the last 40 years, I've heard several times we've had a lot of positive things on the horizon, and they haven't fell through. I hope these do. Hope these don't fall through.
Don't fall through, yeah.
Because I want our city to be a better place to live. I want it to be an enjoyable place, a safe place. And so I have three concerns that I'd like to address with you guys. I am concerned that has this group developed and are they going to enforce a written alcohol sales policy? And if you don't have a written sales policy, then it's easy to make, well, an exception this time, or we won't really bother with that. Do these people have a written sales policy for alcohol that they can give to all of their employees?
And we'll let them answer those questions afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay?
After you've had a chance, okay?
The second thing I want to talk about is they're out of Nevada. That's a couple states away. You know, do they know all the regulations for the federal? I assume they do. But are they up to all the regulations that are exclusively for Colorado? Are they knowing about that? Do they know how to implement that? Do they know the ramifications of the laws that have been passed here in Colorado? And are they up on all of the rules and regulations, the law that may come from Prowers County or the city of Lamar?
Okay.
You need to know the law, and it is different in different states, different locales within the state. so they need to be well aware of what the law is. And the third thing is training their employees. The employees need to be trained, not just a book that they can read, but they need to actually have one-on-one training or small group training where they can learn to recognize legally acceptable ID cards. They can learn to instantly notice the face. And there are some fakes that are around that are pretty shoddy, and there are some fakes that are very, very hard to tell that they are fake. But all the employees need to be able to discern that. They need to have training on how to refuse service to minors. We see that comes up here in Colorado, comes up here in Lamar, where every once in a while, one of our businesses that serves alcohol or sells alcohol is caught selling it to minors. There are some minors who look pretty old. Okay, but they need to know how to deal with minors. There are some smart-mouth minors, okay, who can who present a pretty good case, and they need to know how to refuse service to minors. They need to, all of the employees need to have training on the effects of alcohol on the body, which is what I normally speak about in these hearings. But you need to know every ounce of alcohol has detrimental, permanent effect upon a person's body. They need to know, they need to be trained on signs of intoxication. There's 50 different ways that you can be intoxicated in my research. They need to know how to refuse service to intoxicated guests. I've seen way too many people who say, I'm not bothered at all. I'm not even buzzed. But they are. You lose your perspective. And so they will have to then deal with people who are intoxicated but don't think that they are intoxicated. And they need to know how to refuse them service. If you fail to train, if you fail to teach people how to operate with these guidelines, the company, the managers, shift managers and so forth can be sued or shut down. People can be injured or even killed. And it doesn't hurt to have refresher courses, because training, sometimes we forget what we know. Okay? So I would recommend that we don't allow them to have this transfer until we can have some responses on these questions. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So anybody else who would like to speak against, before you, hold on one more second. Anybody would like to speak against it? Okay, all right. Since there is nobody who would like to speak against it, we'll go ahead and ask you to come up for any clarification on the questions that were brought up for the council.
Thank you so much, sir, and I appreciate your comments. Just to let you know, in the state of Nevada, it's what we call a privilege license. So anything with alcohol in your cannabis is a privilege. It's not a right, so you do go through an investigation. More importantly, we're trained with all those things that you mentioned, because I'd be concerned too as a mother. I have a 21-year-old, or 20-year-old boy who might think he's an old man. So I'm concerned, so that would concern me with your concerns, which is, first of all, do we have training in place? I would look over to Gloria and say, yes, the company has been around and does training of employees. Reason being, again, it's a privilege, it's not a right. In the state of Nevada, you have to go through a rigorous background investigation to make sure that you do follow the regulations and you do know the codes. And so they are taught, they are then written, and they understand the plans of training. Those things are important because they have so many locations in the state of Nevada that they're always concerned that, again, someone might come in, they might serve underage, so they check everyone's ID. Everyone is checked for ID. Doesn't matter how old and how young you look. Everyone must show ID, so we'll take care of that for sure, sir. Next concern was, I think you mentioned the laws. We do know the laws and the regulations, and we're always up to date with those because we watch city council meetings, We also have programs that we're integrating into our systems to make sure that we meet your sales tax codes. So we're always paying our tax collecting bodies on time, the right tax codes at all times. Okay? And we also look at the regulations. We have systems that pop up and tell us what new codes do change, sir. We want to make sure that we're aware of it. I know in December, it's in January, top of the year, we might have some code changes. So we're on top of that, sir. I would want you down on that one. Next thing you said was about the alcohol training and all those good things. I promise you. If there is an issue with fake ID, we're going to Metro Media or to the police department and ask them, how do they train and track those fake IDs? I'm not an expert, sir. I'm not a criminal either, but I can tell you I will find out and ask. As will Gloria will. I believe her husband is in enforcement. So we'll make sure that we follow the rules. It kind of comes in a double-edged sword, this location. We have the best of both worlds, I suppose. It's bread and sliced bread. We've got Gloria, who's been in this town for how many years? Since I was born. Since she was born. Born and raised in this town, understands and loves and supports your cultures and baby. Your husband is? Deputy Madrid. I don't think he'd break the law either, so I think we'll follow the rules there. So now we've got in-house enforcement, we've got outside enforcement. Anytime you want to come and enforce, I welcome you, sir, because this is a small community. I come from the city of Las Vegas. I thought we were doing ground on state with my partner, Leanne. We drove through and I said, did I just come through here? I said, yeah, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, because we're traveling to Garden City, Kansas. And what I did find when I came here, and I spoke to the mayor, and I did miss Tally in Las Vegas, where I could have saw her here and there. But what I learned was this is a small town that we genuinely care. It's not about the outsider. Miss Lynn comes from a small town, Fruita, California, or Colorado. That's what California. So small town, and we're actually learning to appreciate it. Older city Nevada, small town, no gaming, no cannabis, just the liquor, and that's about it. Because I understand what a small town does to a big city kid, but it's really keeping what you have. And so I honor what you say, when we do have training, we'll reach out. If there's an issue, I will give you my phone number to call you. Because I believe that you should have access to anyone in this company, 24 hours a day. You don't need to call customer service. You don't need to call the boss because he's not going to get out of bed. You will, but I promise I will take action because I am from Gerson license. I came out from Las Vegas. I drove here to make sure that I understood where your town was like, so I can drive through rather than taking Uber, drive to a taxi. I want to be able to feel it. And I got to see the trains. I got to see what Mayor has. He talks about different projects. We need more Tesla chargers. How many Teslas are out? I don't know. We need more food here.
Okay.
But I thought this is great, but how much more food? And I realized I don't want to KFC. Well, that's the big thing. We should bring more of that here. Correct?
Great.
You realize you didn't have homeless. I want to feed the homeless. In Las Vegas, you have none. Right. So how do we help the community? I think Gloria suggested that your son there. Yes. So come on.
Hold.
Well, we need to go ahead and keep moving on, though. We've got to keep going. We got a big
Again,
meeting.
giving back to the community was letting him ride his dirt
Yeah.
bike and building something for him. So, sir, please understand that we're here and you can call me anytime.
Did you want to add anything, Quentin? Or?
So as far as training, I've been doing this now for, I've been doing this for 33 years of my life in retail. I'm understanding businesses and really understanding employees and also consumers. So as we have police department here, with sheriff department here, but also we have consumers that we value first. And also by our employees. Because our employees, like you just said, they're put in front of those consumers that sometimes you didn't even know how to handle those consumers. But then they three things can happen. They can refuse to sell, that person doesn't want it, we make a call to 911. If that doesn't happen, my phone operates 24/7, 365 every single day. So if you have an issue in the store, you can make a call, I'll take any call for anybody in the United States. And I'll oversee every single location, every single QSR in this country. And I don't disagree because I love what I do. But to your point, training, we'll follow up the training, make sure we can down and put things we want to. We should have one we should have everything. In Lamar, whether it's Lamar, whether it's Nevada, we also have sites for adult reception. We're in 3 states right now, then we're going to 4, and then next, as a matter of fact, 4 after tomorrow. So we're looking to really, we have to make sure we hold ourselves accountable before we do it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Before we close the floor, does the council have any follow-up questions?
I have none.
I have none.
Okay. Seeing none, do we have a motion to close the floor?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
So, next item is the city council action. What is the pleasure of the council?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the transfer of license. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a public hearing for the adoption of the supplemental budget for the city of Lamar for the current year ending December 31st, 2022. So we'll need to move into another public hearing.
Moved.
Second.
We have a motion with Anne Marie, a second with Jerry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, so the same as last time, did we want to start off with the city treasurer talking about proof of publication and any opening remarks?
Yes, it was publicized and it was also posted on the building. This is just something I bring to you at the end of the year. I evaluate where we're at on expenditures and revenues for each fund, try to forecast where we're going to be by the end of the year. It's a little tough sometimes, so I give myself some space. So what this is doing is if we're going to go above the original budget appropriation that you approved in revenues or expenditures in any particular fund, then I have to bring a supplemental back to you before the end of the year, and we adopt it by resolution. It requires a public hearing, and this is part of that process.
Okay. So I'll open up the floor to anyone that would like to speak. I'll go backwards with this one. I think the only one in favor would be the council or the treasurer. So we'll say, is there anybody against us adopting the supplemental budget for the end of the year? Anybody? Anybody in favor of?
I would just like to say that I am proud of the departments and Rob and everyone who's worked so hard to stay within budget. Because honestly, I have less supplemental on the list than I have in the past. And we had some big things go on that weren't budgeted, especially the salary study. And the departments tightened it up, and Rob made sure they did. And I'm proud of them. And so I want to throw that out there, that some of the things that I've, got included in the supplemental were absolutely, we couldn't get around it. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the way everybody's, gotten together and fought for so that we could implement that salary study early and things like that. So I just want to say great job to everybody.
And it was a tough year as far as those expenses and needing to supplement the budget because of once we implemented that salary survey, we were trying to stay competitive with wages within the region. I know some of the other communities that I've been aware of have also felt that kind of a burden, that kind of a hit, because, for us to stay competitive and keep our officers and keep our, street department and all throughout the city, all the way to the city administrator, we need to adjust our salary survey, and we've done that as conservatively as we could by doing this survey. So I agree, and it was great for the department head to step up and help out.
One of our other struggles is, getting vehicles, capital assets, finishing projects because of the supply chain. So sometimes those are carrying out and having to go into that other year where we didn't anticipate that. So we've done a great job. So
Thank you.
thank you.
And thank you to the treasurer for keeping us in line with it. So, great job.
Thank
Do
you.
we have any questions from the council before we close out the floor?
I have no questions, but I would probably echo to what Kristen said. This has been a tough year in a lot of respects, and I think we're coming out of it in pretty good shape.
I do
like
too.
you said.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Do we have a motion to close the floor?
Moved.
Second.
So we have a motion with Anne Marie, a second with Jerry to close out our public hearing. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, now we need to decide on the councils. What would you like to do on this? As far as making a decision?
I'm asking you to adopt resolution.
Move we approve the resolution.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the supplemental budget. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right. So that takes care of our public hearings for the evening. Now we'll move on to our resolutions. Looks like, was that the item number 3 was the one we just decided on?
You sure did.
So that was item number 3 within our agenda. And we'll move on to item 4, which is Lamar Community College update by President Dr. Linda Lujan. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
Welcome to our council meeting, and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, city administrators, staff, and guests. I am delighted to be here, and thank you for inviting me to talk about my favorite college. I know you've got a full agenda, so I got rid of 5 pages worth of notes. And we'll talk about a few highlights. This is my last council meeting. As you know, I'll be retiring. We've got a new president coming mid-February-ish, and she's so excited to be here. She and her family were here over Thanksgiving week, house hunting, poking around the community, and the word she used about the college, about the community is kind. Everyone here has been so friendly, so welcoming, so kind. And I echo that. It's a great community. I want to thank council and the mayor and all of the city employees for their enduring support of Lamar Community College. We have such a symbiotic relationship. We need you, and you need us. And over the years, we've worked well together, and we've experienced booms and busts, and just kept going. There's something really unique about Southeast Colorado, and if you've only lived in Southeast Colorado, you have no idea. We have a can-do spirit, we have a resiliency, and we have the ability to make do when we need to, even when we're in the middle of can-do. And my favorite college is exactly like that. I loved my time here. I loved my time in the community, the students, the employees. It's just a great place. So Dr. Rosanna Reyes is the new president. She's coming from Pennsylvania, a little bit younger than me. So I'm fingers crossed, hoping she will stay for at least the next 20 years. And if I had found Lamar Community College when I was younger, I would have been here longer as well. 3 children, 2 cats, a husband, and just so excited to be here. I can hardly wait for you to meet and work with her. Lamar Community College is poised for growth, just like Lamar. The pandemic was tough for all of us, but we're coming out of it stronger and better. When I listen to the growth about the city of Lamar, it reminds me of the growth of the college. The new student housing, Main Street student housing, your partnership in helping us make that happen, thank you. Soccer teams, your partnership with soccer fields, thank you. And we've got many wonderful new or newly renovated spaces that are being used not only by students and employees, but by community members, community groups. Just a lot of really great stuff happening at Lamar Community College, in Lamar, in Powers County, and in Southeast Colorado. So I'm going to be so excited to watch from afar as this growth continues. It's a great time. And as my Navy grandson says, it's never goodbye, it's always see ya later.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Well, before you go, Linda, I got to tell you, and I just need to bear with me for a second, council. I'm an alumni of LCC back in the 90s. I've been here most of my life as well. I've seen a lot of change in our community. I've seen a lot of change at the college. And these past few years with you at the helm has probably been the biggest change at Lamar Community College. The projects that you've done, the improvements that you've made, the expansion of the different educational opportunities for our community have been huge. So I didn't do anything formal, but I think your presence in our community has been huge, and it's been massive, and it's been so appreciated. And I can't thank you enough. So if you'll all join me in giving her a round of applause.
Thank you.
And Linda, come back and see us.
Yes.
So somebody at the end of the Diaz over here has this little soiree she calls Boots Bling and Blessing.
Oh, yes.
I'll be back every year for that
Awesome.
at least, and probably a few games as well. So
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Okay, we will move on. Our next item on the agenda is authorization to apply for the Colorado Parks and Wildlife Shooting Range Development Grant. And we do have a representative here from the Colorado Parks and Wildlife. Did I do that right, or did I miss one? Nope, got it. You're right. All right, I'll hand it over to Rob.
Yes, sir. So he can answer any questions, but, we went through the last work session on this, and I know that he has a couple of more pieces of information in case you wanted to know, but we need the council to approve us to allow us to apply for the grant, so.
Okay.
Did you have any questions, or
Do we
did
have
you
any
have something you want to give
questions
them? You had any more information for them or
Not
anything?
really.
Okay.
The only thing I did want to do is clarify, so last time I was up here, I gave you guys a price of what I had figured the range was gonna cost. And I just wanted to clarify to you guys that estimate is based off of materials to put the range together and build it and stuff like that. So overall, when we consider labor and things like that as part of the match, as well as equipment and stuff like that used, the overall numbers will be bigger than that once we get all those things figured out. But the number I gave you last time, that 17,600, is about where I was at as for materials. And we would be asking for in the grant, and then a lot of the labor and stuff and some machinery from you guys as the city would be counting towards that match.
So at our last meeting, we had a work session before the council meeting, and you had came and give us a description of your project. For those of you who are watching tonight that didn't see that work session or wasn't here for that work session, this is for a 3D archery or an archery range.
Archery range, yeah.
Just an archery range that'll be built on the north side of the river, on the opposite side of the river from the North Gateway Park. And this will be in partnership again, similar to our North Gateway Park. It'll be a partnership with Colorado Parks and Wildlife, so we're very excited to do this. The grant we're considering tonight will give us the funding to be able to make this a reality. Is that correct? Did I cover that all correctly?
Yep.
Okay. So, council, do you have any questions for them?
I've got one question that came up when I was looking at the sheet in here on the grants. It talks about volunteer labor. I'm sure you're probably going to look for a lot of volunteer labor being associated with scouting here. I'd like to, with obviously the permission of our scouting groups, I think that especially our Boy Scouts and Venture Crews, that probably could help out.
Yep. And after last week too, I was also contacted, I was contacted by several people that were excited about it. Also the 4-H group contacted me, and they were excited to help in any way possible as well.
Okay, great.
What is the amount?
So we haven't figured out exactly how much the total amount that we'll apply for in the grant or as the total cost of the whole project. But as far as materials needed to build it, I'm right around $17,600.
And we would be responsible for the 25% match. Okay.
Which would be
It can be in kind on this one. It doesn't have to be cash.
labor and
Okay. Okay. All right, council.
Make a motion to authorize the treasurer to submit a grant application.
That's second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to authorize the treasurer for the grant application. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify with an aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Daniel?
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Look
Thank
forward
you,
to it.
Logan.
Thanks on that.
All right, agenda item number 6 is an intergovernmental agreement with the Lamar School District. This was brought in by Rick Akers, but it looks like Kendra is here to discuss that.
Good evening, guys.
Hi.
Just in case you do not know me, I'm Kendra Buchanan with Lamar Parks and Rec Department. I am the activities coordinator. I'm sorry. I don't
It
want to
just,
bend
this
over.
came right on, right when you were talking.
That's my
So
mom,
just
all the
project.
time. So I am just here to talk about the agreement with the Lamar School District on our, is it an annual?
It's actually been a
Three-year.
three-year in the past, so that's what this one is.
So it was unfortunately supposed to be done in June, and it kind of slipped through the cracks. So we need to get it approved so that we can carry on with it the rest of the year.
So this is a 3-year agreement with the Lamar School District, and it covers the parks, let's see, what all does it cover?
It's the
Community
agreement
building,
for-
the baseball
yes,
fields?
And the softball field.
And the
Mhm.
softball
All
field.
facility use that this school district uses, all facilities.
Okay.
Is the contract same as it has been in the past?
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed?
Not at all, nope.
Except the amount.
Except the amount.
Amount and
I think
Lance
it went
has
up to-
reviewed
Yeah.
it.
Did it go?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was not informed of that.
So it
The dates
changed from
changed as well.
19 to what?
Oh, it changed to
219.
To 19. And
I
what
think it was
before?
16.
I believe so. I believe it's 16.
16 before.
I reviewed it, I don't have any.
No legal issues there, okay. All right, any questions for Kendra? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion with Mike, second with Anne Marie. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, do you have to write it for the other one? Because I didn't get one.
Go ahead and stay.
Huh?
Go ahead and
Okay,
stay.
so we did add the item on the agenda for the next piece. Did we get any copies of this?
I have copies.
I don't have one. Nobody has copies of this.
I've got the email that was sent out.
We had the
Oh.
email earlier, but we didn't get printed copies of
Okay.
the. So this was the authorization to apply for the Colorado Outdoor Recreation Industry Office Outdoor Recreation Grant. Since Rob stepped out to get copies, I'll just kind of go through this real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Colorado Outdoor Recreation Industry Office, the OREC, is pleased to announce that the opening of the Colorado State Outdoor Recreation Grant Program on June 1st, 2022. These funds are made available through the Economic Development Administration as part of the American Rescue Plan Act. OREC will be accepting applications for roughly $4 million in competitive funding for projects related to economic development and recovery in the outdoor recreation sector. Eligible entries may include government bodies, nonprofits, colleges, universities, economic development organizations, and Indian tribes. So the city staff would like to apply for this grant to repurpose the old skate park next to the tennis courts and create pickleball courts. This is a discussion we've had in the past. The total grant request would be for $225,000, which would include complete construction of the courts, as well as picnic tables, bleachers, and shade structures. So with that said, I'll turn it over to Kendra, if you'd like to speak on that a little bit more.
It's kind of cut and dry. We got information on pricing for everything. It is a no-match grant. We have to close it out on, well, I have to have it applied and sent in by December 31st. So I'm kind of on a time crunch to get this approved and sent in.
So that's why we were trying to get it in the
Yes.
agenda. We're not approving any funds, we're just approving them, authorizing them to be able to apply for this grant.
That's correct.
So,
If they get this grant, is that gonna be enough funds to complete the project?
So we added, I think it's a significant amount in case of rate increases and whatnot. I mean, grants like this, we apply for them and it could take months, for us to hear back that we received the grant. And then the time that it takes to.
Can't hear her.
I'm sorry. The time that it takes to actually follow through and get the grant money funded to us and then complete the project. So I think we did.
Take it off.
God, I think we did a significant amount overage for that.
So we had some public that helped us with the price on the courts, and they had brought that to you. They had gotten some bids on just doing the courts. We felt like as we had discussions, Rob, Kendra, Rick, and the ladies and us, that we kind of want to do a complete project. So maybe some bleachers, picnic tables in that area, some shade structures to make it more presentable. So Kendra went out and got, right now, what estimated costs on those items. So we have the courts themselves, a complete court with the resurfacing of the concrete, the nets, the fencing around it. Then we had a shade structure, picnic tables, and bleachers. And then I added $40,000, a little over $40,000 for contingency, brought it up to the $225 because we don't know, what prices are going to go up and things like that. So we felt like that would cover what we needed to get that area complete.
And the other part of that is most of these competitive grants, a lot of them will only give you a portion. Is that true?
That's correct.
So if they were to cut it back, we'd still possibly be able to
Right,
get.
and just give us the courts, that would be fine too. But we wanted to go ahead and get as many things in there as we could to make it a complete area and redo that fencing and things too, so.
So you're applying for the complete package?
Yes, yes,
And
we
if
are.
anything, we get just
Right.
the basics, if
Right,
worst
we
case
wanted to
scenario.
kind of go big, see if we could get it all in the one grant. And it's amazing to me how popular this sport is getting. And if you see it on TV, you see it on the internet, it's for all ages, it's for families, it's, so I think that it'll be an awesome opportunity for our citizens to be able to get out there and enjoy it. And right next to the tennis courts, the swimming pool, it'll all be kind of in the same area, Willow Creek Park. So it's in the perfect spot. So I think that, if we can get this would be a great addition to the city.
One more question, if you don't mind. Let's say they only give like maybe a portion of it. Would GOCO be able to do any grants in this area since it's
I would
right
think,
around the same
Yes.
area of interest?
I would think so, yes. And that's something we need to think about. Through our comprehensive plan, our next grant with DOLA, once we get this one closed out, which we're doing with the completion of the tennis courts was the last piece of that, we'd like to, maybe go out for some funding for a new recreation plan because it needs updated. And get some new pieces in there, get some new focus. We want to do that in conjunction with the comprehensive plan. So that's our next focus, but you are correct that the GOCO grant would be able to cover something
There's a
like
Parks
that.
and
Would be
Rec
eligible.
comprehensive plan. Is inside of the city comprehensive plan.
Yeah, I got that part, but I thought we already approved applying for a grant for this rec center.
No.
It was the
Parks and Rec.
It was just informational.
That was we approved for the comprehensive community development plan, but we couldn't apply for the GOCO plan, the Great Outdoors grant,
Until we finish.
until we finished it up with the tennis courts, which just was completed.
Right, and we're working,
weeks.
Kendra and I have been working, and Rick this last week, getting that one closed out. I'll be bringing that to you as a presentation of a closeout, let you know how we came out on that financially. And once we get that complete and okayed by GOCO, then we are eligible again to apply for funding. So we want to do that. It's important to us to get that whole plan in place so we know what projects we're going to have going forward. And we're also doing that in conjunction with the Water Master Plan and some other areas. We're trying to time this where we're getting all of these things done at one time, so.
And tie them all into our community development
Yes.
comprehensive plan that'll be happening all next year.
That's correct.
Right.
You know if that footprint will encompass the whole enclosed area that's currently fenced in right now?
That's what our plan is, yes, sir.
Basketball courts stay.
The basketball courts.
They're outside of the fenced
Pardon me?
area.
Yeah, they're outside of the
They're
fence.
fenced area.
So the
It's just-
Yeah, the
basketball
basketball,
courts stay.
yes, they'll be.
So you're
No.
saying yes and Kristen's
They're
saying
not
no.
included in this. They're going to stay where they're at. It's just
That was the
the
question.
fenced
Thank you.
area with where the old skate park was.
Right. Okay.
My only concern is I see $225,000, that's great. I'm all about trying to get money for free, but I don't see anything local here that were any of this $225,000.
But we can't get shade structures here, picnic tables, or bleachers.
Really?
Local. There's no local manufacturer
There's no local manufacturer for those,
or dealer.
unless you know of someone.
We went through a couple of tries on getting the tennis courts fixed and things like that, and ended up Kansas was the only one that.
Right. And this isn't going out for bid. We'll go out for bids if we need to.
Yeah.
For the project. This is just, we had to get pricing so we know what to apply for. So this isn't in concrete on this one, but we had to start somewhere. And that we found, I don't know anybody that makes commercial picnic tables or commercial, we want some that we can
On
bolt
the
down that are
shade
metal, that are all
structures,
weather.
I went with the same ones that are at the swimming pool, so that it looks the same, because this is going to be right up against the swimming pool. So to have an area that looks complete, I feel like that was kind of the best route to go. So I priced them through the same place that we got our shade structure for the swimming pool on that. And all of our tables, it's the same, they've done North Gateway Park. They've done all of ours at Willow Creek Park. It's the same companies that we have used religiously in the last few years, and that's how I did the price quotes, so.
And I think that's the other thing to keep in mind is that this is one step in 15 steps that we need to go. This is just applying for the grant. Once we get the funds, then we need to, do the bids and the more formal planning and all of that. So this is just giving them the authorization to take the
Because
first
these
step.
estimates will be almost a year old, or it could be 6 months old by then.
Yeah.
So we'll have to go back out and get bids and go through the formal process if we're awarded the grant.
Yep, okay. Any other questions for Kendra or Kristen or Rob?
I'd like to make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Mike, a second from Joe. Any final questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mike? It didn't quite pick up.
Unanimous in favor of?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kendra.
Thanks, Kendra.
Thanks, Kendra.
Then the last item on our agenda is the miscellaneous. Do we have any miscellaneous items, any questions that have been asked? Martha? Any questions that we can answer, I guess? Okay. All right, seeing none. The last item on our agenda, the very final, is an executive session to discuss personnel matters under the Colorado Revised Statutes, Section 24-6, 402, parentheses 4, parentheses F. This is for the evaluations of the city treasurer and the city clerk. We will not have any decisions coming out of this executive session, so shortly after that, we will just adjourn. So we will close out after we move into executive session. Do we have a motion to
So
move
moved.
into?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to move in executive session. All those in favor signify with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Unanimous in favor of?
All right, well, thank you very much for attending tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next year.
Thank you.